Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Eureka Archery. My name is Anwar Matsaat, and today I would like to show you how you can make your very own custom fletchings. What you're going to need for this is some white fletchings. I will usually get them in white, not the colored ones, because you can actually make your own colors for cheap, which is what I'm going to show you today. So what do you need? Of course, you will need the fletchings. The next thing you will need is food coloring. I would prefer to use this kind of food coloring, and this one is called lemon yellow. Okay, the next thing that you will need is a glass of warm water. You gotta make sure that the fletchings can sit in there. Yep. You will also need some salt. And finally, you will need some lemon juice or lemon squeeze. So the first thing that you will need to do is grab your warm water. Now, not boiling, just warm. And you gotta make sure that you wash your feathers first using water and dishwashing soap. That is done to remove any kind of oils or any kind of smudges or dirt that may be stuck inside the fletchings. So for this one, I have labeled which one I need to dye to yellow. So there's this one and this one. So that's 24 yellows and another 36 yellow. So I think that's 60 pieces in total. So I usually just get white arrows in bulk, and I will just dye the feathers, the colors that I need when I need to. So that way I can be more creative in the fletchings, and you can really custom it to your own liking. So the first thing that you'll do is you'll grab the salt. I'm not measuring anything here. I'm just gonna do it instinctively, I suppose, just eyeballing it. Next, you take your lemon juice, squeeze it in, and there you have it, a salty lemonade. Grab a stick. Here I'm just using a chopstick, one part of it, stir it nicely. And I will take the coloring, and I'm just gonna put just like that for now. That's about half the bottle, I guess. I'm just gonna stir it. Now it says here lemon yellow, but the color here looks more like red, I suppose. So if you're not too certain about how the color actually would look like, I'm just gonna grab some scrap paper and test it. So, well, that is yellow. Okay, let's put this aside. You don't want to be staining things that you don't want to stain, essentially. So I'm just gonna stir it. I think the yellow looks quite nice, so we're just gonna try with one first. Okay, so I'm just gonna see how the color looks like. I think it looks right enough. So once I'm happy, I'll put everything inside. Alright, so I've got a cut up mineral water bottle, or just a cut up plastic bottle, and I'm gonna try to squeeze everything in here. But as you can see, the one that has already been dipped slightly just now, the yellow is actually pretty bright and vibrant. So since I have everything here, so let's try to just pour this all over the fletching, trying to soak everything in this mixture. So let's press it all in. And we're just gonna let this sit for a few minutes, not too long, and then we're just gonna rinse it. So let's try to bring everything in. Make sure all the fletching touches this. Now if you have more cups, you can actually put half and half. Maybe like you want to do the back side of the fletching blue and the front side yellow. You can do that, that's not a problem. But for this particular video, I'm just going to make yellow. So just like that. So let's put this aside and we'll wait for a few minutes. Then we're going to rinse it and I'll show you how these fletchings turned out. We are making custom colored fletching using food coloring, cheap and readily available. Very easy to do. So there's some more salt and whatever not mixture there's still in the cup, so I'm just gonna put it in. From what I understand, the salt and the lemon makes the color stay on and make the dye lasts longer. Not too sure, but it seems to be working. As you can remember, there was no specific measurement. I was just eyeballing it. But of course, if you want to achieve a specific color and you want to replicate that color as consistently as you want, then you can start measuring and you can start experimenting on how many drops you would need or how many milliliters you would need to achieve the desired intensity of the colors. Now if you're a bit more artistic, you can just get the primary colors and you can mix colors to make new colors. So that way you can definitely save on food coloring costs. You can just get the basic colors and experiment with it. So this is how it looks like now. The yellow is pretty bright, but we'll see once we rinse it. But right now it just looks like a fruit cocktail or a fruit punch. So let's just leave it there and we'll see how it looks like once it has been all saturated nicely. So pushing it in. As you see now, the yellow is pretty bright using just food coloring. So let's just leave this for now. Alright, welcome back. So I have actually rinsed the feathers and look at that. The yellow is really nice and the color doesn't run anymore. Basically, I took the feathers and I washed it under running water, and just to make sure that when the water is clear, and that's when you know that the fletching is done. So let's put all of this out to dry by the side here. Okay, as you can see, there are some color runs, so let's just dry it out and we'll see how well the color stays on. So we're going to put this to the side, just right here. Now with this remnants, I'm going to make or dye these fletches. This is supposed to be orange. So we know to get orange is you have to add yellow and some red. So that's what we're going to do. Here I have bright red. So let's put a few drops in there. Just like that. Very little. I'm gonna put this to the side. As you can see, just by a little bit, you already smeared your finger. Now it is recommended to use gloves, but I don't mind my fingers to be colorful. It is the lockdown anyways, so I'm not gonna go out of the house. I'm not worried at all. So let's stir it up. And maybe I would like to add a little bit more of the lemon. Okay, make sure you stir it nicely. You want the color to be blended. So that was red, and with the original yellow base mixture. So let's take a look whether we get orange. So it looks more like red. So let's tweak that a little bit by adding a little bit more yellow so that we can increase the orangeness of it. We can see what color it is. And there we have it, orange. So once you're satisfied with the mix, what you gotta do is repeat the previous process and just take your feathers. So this time I have the cup right here. I'm just gonna put it back in. So that's 12 oranges. So you see I'm just stirring the fletching now. And why not? Let's just put it back in there. Now at the moment you can see some blotches, but we just have to soak it a little bit more so that the color is all well and balanced. So you can see there, orange and yellow. So I'm just gonna let this sit in a bit more, make sure it soaks up all that dye, and just gonna let it sit for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, so I have rinsed the orange, and that's how it looks like, a bright orange. Now the last step that I want to do is I want to change the orange food coloring into purple. Now I'm not very sure whether it works because the water is already room temperature, and there's already two other colors already in here and dyed on it. So let's just try. This is blue. Put it in there. There's a few drops, a little bit more than the red just now. Now I'm just going to stir it, and let's hope we get purple. So let's put this in here to see how it looks like. And now I'm just going to put in some of this, so just to really quickly check. Well, it looks more black than anything, but it's okay. Just put everything in there. And let's pour. Alright, I have rinsed the purple. Now it's still wet, but once it dries, the color will be more vibrant. So these are the colors we have made. We have made purple, we have made orange, and we've also made a whole bunch of yellow. So this is just using food coloring, very easy to do and very cheap to make. So this is how you can actually make your own custom colored fletchings using food coloring and stuff you can get around in your kitchen. So till next time, my name is Anwar Matsa'an. We are Eureka Archery. Be an archer today.